收获哈。那么现在呢，我们请出一个重要的一个嘉宾，我们这个中国休闲垂钓协会云南分舵的一个舵主，我们的张翰老师。你好，你好，哎，你好。能给我们介绍一下这个这次的比赛吗？我们边走边说吧。
这一次法钓比赛是咱们整个中国法钓界2019年第一场国家级2类赛事，也是全国的第一场首场national
recreational
fishery competition in 2019. This competition will take place in Kunming, and today is the 20th of January. The temperature is not very high, around 19 to 20 degrees Celsius degrees. And in this reservoir, there are a lot of fish, all varieties of fish, including mandarin fish, bass, coulter, albinos. Apart from that, Chashitan Reservoir also gathers a lot of natural resources, and it is also connected to Wankonghu Lake, which is also very famous for its abundant fish variety. I'm sure the audience who is in the north will be would aspire today's competition a lot, because the north area is still very cold. Currently, this is Mr. Yang, and is that raft fishing? No, this is just angling. Angling on the road. Using this method, actually, the fish varieties here is very abundant, including mandarin fish, bass, common carp, days, etc. Hi, Mr. Yang. Are you here for the competition? I am actually a fisher fan, so I just want to have an experience of fishing here, because the natural resource, including the water resource, fish resource, and the land resource, is very abundant here. What are you doing here? I'm currently loading the bait. This bait is specifically for the baits. Why do you like fishing here? Firstly, it has a very good weather, and also it's very original. Okay, I'll leave you to your fishing. Mr. Zhang, since you're from the Recreational Fishery Association, can you introduce a little bit about angling and raft fishing? It is quite popular here in China to do raft eating, raft fishing, road fishing, and platform fishing. And currently, this competition is about raft fishing. And you see that they are all using this special bait specifically for bass. Later on, when we go to see the competition, you will see that their fishing method is completely different. How about angling? Angling is a method that's quite local. Well, raft fishing comprises of freshwater raft fishing and seawater raft fishing. And freshwater raft fishing in China is quite famous. And that is world-renowned, actually, no matter from the method to the fishing skills. Now they're doing road fishing. It's 30 plus now. That's very impressive. You hooked a fish just in a second. Congratulations. It's not bad. Do you fish here a lot? Yes. How do you like it? It's very good. I like the water quality, and it has abundant varieties of fish. Will you take it back home after you get these fish? No, there is actually an unofficial rule here. And the rule here is that in our daily life, we actually don't really need a fish. However, for the fish, if we take it back home, then the fish will lose its life. So fishing here is just about recreation. It's about leisure. The fish brings us leisures, but we cannot sacrifice its life for our leisure. This is grass carp. It's dead now. Road fishing is very original and very environmental. Later, we will see raft fishing, which is also very original and environmental. Currently, all of the baits for raft fishing is also in the ecological recycling. Some of them use shrimp. Let's walk around. Just now he used a flat bait. I also noticed that their bait is different from the common ones. Yes, because road fishing is very environmental and it's very healthy. And the bait they're using will not pollute the water. You see, this is the bait. And then this one is another bait. One of the popular ones are more shiny. I also noticed that they use some softer bait. There are all kinds of baits and all kinds of ways of road baiting. Some of the baits are basically focusing on the shallow water fish. For example, this one. This is basically for the shallow water fish. Sometimes it can also cater to middle level and deep level fish. And then this bait. This is also for road angling. It has a triangle hook. And we call it bourbon. This bait is basically for water surface fish. It's very good for the water surface fishing, especially in the dawn time. Okay, let me have a few more words with the two fishers, and then we're going to the raft fishing competition. Why did you use the rotational style rather than the flashy bait? Because this is in the afternoon, and the speed of the fish is very fast. Therefore, I think the softer bait is better to attract the fish. Why didn't you participate in this competition? Well, it's because of my time limitation, and in the afternoon there is a closing ceremony. That's why I came here to see who is the winner. There are two ways of fishing. Raft fishing has a shorter pole, shorter stick, and it is basically focusing on the fishes that's from the water surface to the mid-level water. Rod angling or rod fishing, bait fishing, is that basically that you use some baits to attract the fish, and the pole length is different. Raft fishing has a shorter pole, so you can directly see the fish under the water. That really depends on your feeling, whether you can feel there is a fish or not. Is it compulsory to weld the hat? Yes. Because some of the fish has a lot of hooks, and there is a resistant strength against you. So it's possible for the fish to attack your face once the fish is bouncing up. And when the fish is bouncing, you should nod your head. Okay, congrats. Wish you have a fruitful result from today's fishing, and we're going to the competition now. We will go from this platform of this CGTN reservoir and then go to the other side of this platform to see the competition. We should wear life vest. Okay, let's go on board. Dear audience, well, let me ask you, if we go there by boat, will we affect their competition? Actually, we will park 20 minutes away from the competition area. We won't create a lot of interference. It's fine. On the way to the competition area, we'd also like to introduce you about this CGTN reservoir. There are a lot of stories behind it. So this reservoir was built in last century, the end of last century. This is the origin of Zhujiang. It's a very big scale reservoir, around 370 million cubic meters, and the annual production is around 1,000 tons. This is a very recreational fishery base. Why is the boat not running yet? Actually, it's about to go. CGTN reservoir. The water here in CGTN reservoir is third type. It's not drinkable, and we plan to build this type of reservoir since last century because, as we mentioned before, this is the origin of Zhujiang, and the water from here will go directly to Canton province, and in summertime, the precipitation here is very big. The local people would expect to have a reservoir like this to stock all of the water or the raindrops, so that that is also for anti-flood purpose. Then the government decided to build this reservoir. The funding of the construction of this reservoir is partly from the government and partly from the local people's donation. After they built this reservoir, the environment changed a lot, and ecological environment also changed a lot. When I was talking to Mr. Yang, he also mentioned that if there is a huge shower coming down, then the water level of this reservoir will raise around half leg length. After they built this reservoir, flood problem was very well resolved. It protects the city from huge shower and huge flood. I remember a few years ago, just now you mentioned that after the what's the impact of this reservoir on the daily life of the city? This reservoir, firstly, can help boost the development of fishery, and the second, it can stock water, help with the irrigation, and then third, it can help with anti-flooding. After we build this reservoir, it can survive or withstand flood peak at 40,000 per 4 seconds. If there were no reservoir like this, the downstream of the water, the downstream area can be hugely flooded. Now we are approaching to the raft competition area. It's like 20 meters away. This is a temporary platform. It looks quite simple. However, it still managed to support the competition. If it were not a competition, what is a usual raft platform like? Usually, you can do raft fishing as long as you find any empty place on the platform. Let me introduce my teacher. This is the head of the Raft Fishing Association, Mr. Hu. You're like the first one in raft fishing in China. Can you introduce about the competition? How is it going now? Currently, this competition is the first raft fishing competition that's hosted by China Recreational Fishery Association. And the purpose of this competition is to promote the development of recreational fishery and also stimulate consumption. Usually, the fishery sector in this area is about go fishing and sell fish. However, after the economic restructuring, we decided to convert the original model into a recreational fishery. By the recreational fishery competition, we can attract the fishing fans and also the professional fishers, and they will also purchase a lot of the merchandise. And as I mentioned before, the competition is about recreational fishery. There are not a lot of restrictions during the competition. You can have a lot of methods in fishing. Our only restriction is in the bait. You cannot use any pollutable bait. You see that this person uses corn. It's very environmental friendly. Recreational fishery is all about make full use of your extra time, your free time, and get yourself closer to the nature. Can you introduce about the equipment of raft fishing? Because over there, I noticed that the equipment over there is quite different from the equipment here. This equipment can be dated back to Tang Dynasty. It's a short pole. What's the advantage of short pole? Because you can consider this pole as an extension of your body. So when you push the pole to the water, it's very stimulating. And also the string is very long. So for short pole, the biggest advantage of it is that you can have a very long string. Also, the whole raft fishing is very elegant. In our competition, how do you see the performance of them? They've been doing very good. However, the fish here is not that good because these are all wild fish, and they are not. They are still not used to this kind of competition. Why didn't you come here before? I worry that I might interfere the competition. Yes, as I mentioned, that since the fish still do not used to this kind of competition or this kind of vibration. That's one of the setbacks. However, the players are all in very good mood. The competition lasts 2 days, starting from yesterday, and there is no quitter at all. For raft fishing competition, I actually heard it before. However, I noticed that your competition has attracted the top 30 fishers in China. How do you rank them? The ranking of fisher has a very has a set of criteria. We have masters in raft fishing, masters in angling, and also masters in rod fishing. Different categories have different top masters. And the ranking is actually well received in both the authorities and also the audience. And the criteria and the ranking of fishers is similar to the other sports events. For example, boxing. You have amateur boxing and professional boxing. Professional boxing's ranking is different from amateur boxing ranking, and this recreational fishery competition can be seen as the professional fishing competition because it is only about raft fishing. You can only use the method of raft fishing. You see that that lady is from Shandong province. Oh, you even have lady players, yes. As long as they get onto the platform, they will not leave, right? Yes. Shall we check on them over there? Okay, the competition is about to finish. They are weighing the fish. When I was talking to Mr. Zhang, I was told that the equipment of raft fishing, there are more raft fishing equipment than other fishing categories. Can you introduce a little bit about the equipment? Okay, we can see from here. For example, this one, this person. The reason why raft fishing is very recreational is because it utilized a lot of high-end technology. For example, this box is very multifunctional. It has a charger power bank, and the power bank in the box is connected to a sensor which can sense the depth of the fish. Currently, the sensor is not turned on yet, and several minutes later, the competition is about to finish. Apart from sensing equipment, they also have some other equipment. When you sit here, it seems very professional, both professional but also very recreational. This is the sensor, and this is the light for night fishing, and that is the swirl rotator. For example, it will help you to get the stream back. You don't have to use your hand. For example, if you are fishing, you don't have to wait there blindly, and you can see whether there is any fish or not from this display. Even if the fish didn't got hooked, the monitor or the display can tell you why. You see that everyone has got all kinds of equipment. For example, the pole, the sensor, the light. This set of equipment can make you fully informed of what's happening. We have 5 seconds left. Okay, that's the end of the competition. How many fish did you get? 4. How about yesterday? 2. Not bad. I think you will make top 10. Well, your today's performance is better than yesterday. I'm sure you can make top 10. You see this wheel? The wheel is very small and the string is very thin. It's 0.6 millimeter. Even if the string is very thin, it can still withstand the weight of a fish that's around 20 to 30 jing. Most of the time, raft fishing happens indoor or on the raft. So for indoor raft fishing, you have AC and you have all kind. You even have TV. You don't have to be afraid of getting tanned. Currently, fishing is more like consumption upgrading, and it has a whole series of industrial link. When you purchase, after you purchase the fishing pole, you need to go out, go to the reservoir, and then you need to book hotels, and then you will stay there and purchase a lot of other merchandise. As I mentioned, this is B zone, and that place is A zone. We don't know how A zone's people are doing. What's the difference between different zones? Because different zones have different fish, and for example, the number of fish in different zones is different. It is all depends on your luck. So you have 2 chances, because you can switch zones after you finish one zone. Let's see the result of the players. Let's go forward and see from the beginning. Since the competition just finished, everyone is busy getting their pole back. After they get their pole back, they will start to weigh their fish. Currently, the fish are still in the basket. You see there is one fish over here? Yeah, I can see one fish, but the camera cannot see that. The water is very clear. How are you doing?
不知道，反正没口。是不是您的新纪录啊？是纪录。我昨天了解，好像是因为这是一个新的鱼排，是吧？可能鱼都被。
I noticed that because this is a new raft here, a lot of fish got intimidated. Yes, a lot of us. The several of us haven't got one fish hooked. It's 7 hours, but I haven't got even one. I have a question from the netizen. How much is your equipment, this set of equipment? It's more than 10,000 RMB. Can you introduce a little bit about your equipment? Is it, what's the level of your equipment? Middle level. It's around 10,000 to get all of the equipment. The sensor is very expensive. Because there is no fish here. Okay, this is the sensor. And then, what's the rationale? Sonar is sonar-based technology. It's several thousand. How about the rest of them? You have the wheel, the rotator. Well, the wheel is more expensive. How long have you been doing raft fishing? 1 year. What did you play before? Competition sports. Competition fishing sport. What's the difference between the two? Because I'm already more than 50 years old. I'm too old for the professional sports, competition sports. What's that like? The fish speed is very quick in competition fishing sport. And the weight is around 20 to 30 jin. Whereas recreational fishing is more relaxing. So this competition lasts 2 days. I just sit here and wait for the fish to get hooked. And I'm quite relaxed during the whole process. Where are you from? I'm from Anshan, Guizhou. So you specifically fly from Guizhou to Yunnan. How was your yesterday's performance? I got one fish yesterday. However, today I got nothing. Well, I think it's because of your location. Yes, probably it's because of the location. And the second, maybe because I'm not familiar with the fish here. Your familiarization of the fish, is that important? Yes, very important, because, for example, the fish is not familiar with the temperature and the level of the fish, and also how do you gather the fish, etc. There are a lot of tricks. Sometimes the fish like to eat the bait when you just put the bait out, or sometimes they would like to eat the bait when you are about to move the bait. This is the first time for the competition, and people are not familiar with the water and the fish because this gentleman is from Guizhou. He's not familiar with the fish here. Do you hang out here a lot? Yes, our association members always hang out here. Taishan Reservoir is the nearest reservoir for fishing. The nearest reservoir to Kunming. And this is a local fisher. What's your result? Okay, he's on the phone. Let's just look at how he's doing. Where's your fish? I got nothing. Okay, another one. Do you fish here a lot? This is the first time for me to come here. You're from Kunming. Yes, I'm a local Kunminger. Out of what reason that you got no fish today? I think it's because of the weather and the temperature of the water is not high enough. I know that there are a lot of fish in this reservoir, but there's just not enough fish here. I can see from the sensor that there are a lot of fish, but these fish just didn't want to eat the bait. Thank you. We'll just see some of the other players. You can see that the fish here is very picky. They're very selective. Well, in the usual time, the fish, no matter it's the variety or the how are you doing? Not very good. I'm from Kunming. Do you go fishing a lot? Yes. I go fishing with my husband and my children a lot. What's the best thing about fishing? Well, for raft fishing, it is very convenient. Very convenient for females. It's very recreational. Okay, wish you better performance next time. Mr. Duo, how are you doing? I didn't do well in this competition. Okay, let's see this zone. Now everyone are taking back their pose. How are you doing? Not very good. How many fish did you get? 3 in the second half. Well, you get the best currently. You get the most number of fish during our interview. Well, I think people over there will get more fish. And I think the reason for today's performance is because firstly, we're not familiar with the fish, and then second, today the temperature is not very high. Okay, let's go over there, the side area. I think the location here is better. Location is very important for fishing. Just now, I also see that the wind direction is going from there to here. How are you doing? Not bad. Could you please share your experience? I got 6 fish. Can we have a look? So you just got 6 fish today. Your location is very good. These are all Coulter albinos. One of the best variety of fish in raft fishing. Which bait do you use? Corn? You use a locked location. How long is that? 28 and 22 meters. So you put the string at the length of 22 and 28, and then you get back at each point. How long did you stay in each point? 3 to 5 minutes. Okay, after you reach 25 minutes, and you will get the string back immediately. Yes, and then I will go to 25 meters and stay for a few seconds. You did well. Yeah, not bad. I also switched the strategy in fishing. In this competition, it is allowed to use 2 poles, one for use, one for backup. And when you prepare your poles, what's your strategy? I use 1.5 and a shorter one. So short pole is my preference, which is 1.5. And I also have a longer pole that is 1.8 for the longer area. Do you focus on Coulter albanus or other type of fish? Coulter albanus is my focus. I didn't go for days or carps. That's a very good strategy. Yes, some of the players only focus on carps. I know that carp is very big. How much fish did you get? 7. These are all Coulter albanus. So you only focus on Coulter albanus? Yes. What's the length of the string? Within 14 meters, because I used my sensor to improve the precision. I just go directly to the point or to the location of the fish and then slowly hook it up. So firstly you will use the sense to sense the location of the fish and then slowly pull the string down. When the string reaches 14 meters, he will stop and stay there for a few seconds. So that gentleman's strategy is from 20 to 28 meters, and I'm from 12 to 14 meters. So the water level is different. Every water level has abundant fish. Depends on which water level you want to focus on. How much did you get in the first half part of the competition? 3. 3 mandarin fish. I think you might be the winner. No way. Thank you. This is a huge fan of fishing. He's got all of the equipment. He even has a customized fishing box. And then if you look at the pole, he has the mask pole, the branch pole, and the wheel, as well as the display and the sensor. How much does it cost to get this set of equipment? The box costs around 6,000, and the equipment will cost around 20 to 30,000. You even have mashed biscuit. Where did you usually get lunch? Just like the rest of them, we just go to the restaurant. How's your performance? Well, I get 1 fish each day. Not bad. Well, I think it's because of the weather. We can see that the majority of them did not do well. They only get 1, 2, or 3 fish. Not a very good efficiency. Let's go to the weigh-in area. After they gather all of their fish, they will go to the weighing area and to display the result. We know that the total area of this reservoir is around 4,500 square meters. And there's going to be a phase 2. This is the weighing area. This is the weighing area.
这个是零掉了吗？这是在水深在多少？
Where is the water level? Is 22 meters. You use both point and slow rafting. You didn't use any sensor. Not bad. How much did you get yesterday? 2. Yeah, I think you are very promising to be the winner. Okay, he's got 4 in total. He's referee. Do you always go to refer this kind of national fishing competitions? Yes, I go to different places to refer different competitions. Later on, let's go to interview the referee.
好啊，走啊。一会儿的话，那个。
Later.
我们到那边去看啊，那边也是场。
Let's go there.
那边看一下。
There is another weighing area.
但那边称完了。
称完了哈。
But I think they finished weighing.
哦。 刚才就是我们也看到这些鱼灯称完之后，直接就给它放上。
You see that after they've weighed the fish, they will return the fish back to the water. Yes, for this competition, it is not allowed to take the fish back home. You have to return it back to the water.
看一下这边的那个。
哎呀，昨天一个，今天一个。
How are you doing? I got 1 yesterday and 1 today.
来帮他看一下，
这边看一下哈。好。好。
哦，对对对。
Let's see here.
这个我看着他吊起来的。
好。
鱼呢？来，美女。就这个，把鱼我的解释为女选手一下。
Okay, a female player. What's the weight? I don't know yet. Let's see the result.
这个叫什么？救生衣也很有意思，这个鞠躬法。
The life vest is very interesting. There are 4 characters in Chinese.
这位掉了1尾。
Okay, he's got 1.
这一次的话
Not bad.
这一次的话，比赛的话，
For this
鱼情不是
competition,
很好，吃口不是很好，
because
所以普遍的掉
the
的比较
fish
少。
condition is not very good, so the majority of the players didn't get a lot of fish.
你现在就放掉了。
1.1 kilogram. And then he's going to return the fish back to the water.
掉7尾的这个也忘拿了冠军。
我们看一下他这个
Well,
表
I think that player who's just got 7 is about to be the winner. Mr. Huang, can we interview you?
多少条啊？
我们现在这边的是
Who got
最
the
多的是有4条吧。
most?
啊，就
Well,
是今天
here,
的，只是今天的成绩
the
最多的
most
是4条。
the best achievement is 4.
哦，这是我们。
今天收获怎么样？
How about this female player? I only got 1 today.
3斤6两的，3斤6两，2
It's
斤4两的，这个比较多一
3.6
点。今天
and 2.4 kilogram.
4条，沾青的啊。
3.46 kilograms, covering 4 fish. There are a lot of people here. How about yesterday's performance? Yesterday I got 2.0 kilogram and today is 1.0 kilogram. So you've got 3.0 kilogram in total. Very promising. Okay, my team member got 7 kilograms.
对对对，他们是因为
They've got
这
teams.
是我
Yes.
听的口音好像是咱们湖南的。
Judging by the accent, I think he's from Hunan province. You've also brought a lot of snacks here. Because we actually are traveling here and happen to have this notice happen to be a competition, so we just participated. We visited here 1 month ahead, so you came here 1 month ahead to get familiar with the fish and water here. Yes, their team is very famous in China, and they participated in a lot of competitions all around China. Okay, let's see here. They're also weighing. Not bad. 4. Number 4. How much did you get? Well, I noticed that the majority of them are all getting caught albinus. Actually, there are some more kinds of fish, including mandarin fish, bass, grass carp, black carp, and common carp. However, because of the limitation of the weather, it is not that easy to get grass carp. They also have days actually, and bullhead. But from their performance, I can see that most of them only get counter albinus. Yesterday, I noticed one of the players get a bass, but today there is no bass at all. When we were over there looking the road fishing, we noticed that they get bass. Yes, because when the temperature rises, the bass will go to the near bank water area. And here, the depth of the water is more than 40 meters. It is not possible to get bass here. It's too deep. The water is too deep. We also have some words with the Reservoir Management Bureau, and he told us that the water here is third type water, and they only use this water for fishing. This is Director Xiao from the Management Bureau. Are you here to? Yeah, I'm here for the competition. I'm audience. Can you introduce the Chaishitan Reservoir? Yeah, is there anyone over there introduced you before? Yang Bing? No, he's been too busy. Mr. Xiao, can you say a few words about Chaishitan Reservoir? How about the infant fish investment? The local people invest this fish. Basically, they will invest in bullhead to improve the water quality. Sometimes they will also mix it with some other kind of fish. So apart from economic categories of fish, you should also invest in some bullhead. How many? Around 300 to 400 tons of bullhead. Thank you. Let's go there and have a few words with the referee. Every year they will invest 300 to 400 tons of bullhead, and that will highly improve the water quality of the reservoir. The referee jury is over there. We can interview the referee. For a competition like this, the referee's job is very tough because you have to ensure the just equality and the whole fluent process of the competition. I heard from the players that if you sit over there, then you will have better advantages. How do you select the seats, players' seat? Well, from my previous experience, I think that if you sit in the sides, on the side area, then you will get more fish. Because for the center area, there are too many people, and the fish is scared, too scared to approach. However, in the side area, fish won't get intimidated that easily. So if you get the side location, you have already won half. However, they usually have lucky draw to determine who sit at what position. For raft fishing, apart from this kind of raft, is there any other kind of raft that can have a better balance of the fish location? Yes. Well, for this raft competition here in the Changshitang Reservoir, the raft is too simple. It's very rough. The vibration is very huge when it gets windy. So when you sit on the raft, the pole will vibrate together because of the vibration of the raft. In the center, you can see there are some red box or red cabin. Can you guess what is it for? If you're a fisher, I'm sure you know what this is for. This is a very simple toilet. And they will actually stock the excreta, and all of the excreta will not go to the water directly. They will collect the excreta together, yes, including the dustbin. We will move all of this dustbin to the bank. Okay, now let's go to the refrigerator. In some provinces, they have very good raft. No matter how many people are walking on top of the raft, or no matter how windy it gets, the raft will not vibrate or move. That is a very good quality raft. However, our raft is very simple, and this is the first time for Yunnan province to host a national level raft fishing competition. This is the head of the jury, Mr. Wang Xi. We are doing the new media live streaming. Can you introduce the competition to us? This is the 2019 National Fishing Competition in our raft fishing in Changshitang Reservoir. There are it lasts 2 days, and there are each day there are 2 halves. It's separated into 2 halves. The first half is 4 hours, second half 3 hours. And we know that our competition gathers one of the best players, and I'm also very grateful for the support from the government. And however, today, because of the weather problem, the fish quality or fish conditions is not that good. However, I'm still very grateful to the attitude of these players and also the support from the government. The fish condition is not that good. It's because it is winter now, and it's about to. We are about to go into spring. The air pressure is only 840. The fish it's very difficult for the fish to get around. So that will also interfere with the competition result. However, the fact of bad weather will not have any negative impact on the players. They're all very active. I'd also like to talk to Mr. Hu. Mr. Hu is one of the best fishers in China, and you've also got a TikTok account, and you will have some live streaming on your fishing. Yes. For this sports event, fishing, we have a natural love. It is in our gene. For some other outdoor activities like traveling, they would like to have some relaxed activities, and fishing is just about right activity for them. There are a lot of fans of fishing, so when there are a very big fan base, as long as you got good at fishing, you can attract a lot of followers. How about recreational fishery development in China? The development of recreational fishery in China is still lagging behind compared with the European countries or developed countries. However, we have witnessed a rapid development in recent years because when it's linked to recreational tourism and recreational agriculture, you have closed the loop, and you will have a well-rounded rapid development of all these sectors. Even if there is not a very big population here, you can still attract a lot of people in fishing. You have a very huge customer base in recreational fishery, and when China goes out to in the international arena, we can still get a very good performance in fishing sports. In the past time, people consider fishing as a bad habit because that will interfere you or distract you from your work. However, now we see it as a very good way of leisure. It is very demanding on the environment for raft fishing or angling. Fishing has transformed from the previous taking from the nature to the current protecting the nature. Because after you go fishing, after you get the fish, you will return the fish back to the environment. You can see that the concept of fishing or the idea of fishing, the philosophy behind it has changed a lot. And that is very conducive for a sustainable development. Thank you. Today, we also go to see the competition, see how everyone is doing. We know that this is the first time of this kind of competition held here in Yunnan. And the raft is too simple, actually. That will also hinder the performance of the player. Yeah, I know, because this is a very new reservoir. And I know that this is definitely a new brand or a new competition here in Yunnan, but we don't see any people whining about the fact or about the conditions here. I even noticed some of the players travel all the way from a far distance here to get trained and stay here for a long time. However, they just got no fish at all in the competition. But no one's whining, because even in the process of preparation, you can still learn a lot. Yes, just now Mr. Zhang introduced about different techniques of fishing. Yes, different lake will require different fishing skills. Maybe you're doing quite well in the north area. However, now that you're in Yunnan province, you might not do as well as you were back in the northern area. Whether you can convert your philosophy into your own fishing skills, that's the key. Mr. Zhang Qing? Okay, today, that is all for today's live streaming. I hope that our dear fishers will visit different places to go fishing and try to fish different varieties of fish. That's all for today's live streaming. Stay tuned for our next live streaming. Thank you.